Hi everyone, it's Niv here, and today I'll be talking to you about the relationship between low iron levels and hair loss. I have been wanting to make this video for a very long time because I know so many of you are struggling with this, and there is a growing belief around there, especially on social media, that iron deficiency is a major factor that contributes to hair loss. This is also one of the biggest things I always hear from my clients, is that they're worried because even though they're supplementing on iron, they're not seeing results, and it can be very overwhelming. I get questions like, which iron supplements should I take? Should I maybe do an IV, or should I try a different brand? Basically, what do I do? And you know, all of these things are swirling in your head and can leave you paralyzed as to what is the right thing for you. Before I go further in the video, I want to share with you that I am someone that has suffered with hair loss, and I completely understand how devastating this can be. So hear me out, because I have been able to reverse my hair loss, and I hope this will help you out as well. This is the reason why today I want to talk to you about the step-by-step process on why this happens, and explain to you how low iron levels can actually be easily confused to be the reason for your hair loss. First thing to get straight is that when we have low iron levels, it means that our body is dealing with a low-grade viral infection. This means that there is one or multiple viruses that are about to start to thrive in our bodies, as they have already started to manifest into certain health issues, such as your hair loss, for example. And that's the reason why viruses such as the Epstein-Barr virus develops in different stages over time, and lowering down the iron levels is only their starting point. So hear me out. Pathogens feed on iron because it's a metal. And if you didn't know, the pathogens actually feed on certain foods and metals, and how to regulate your iron levels naturally, then check out my post that I created about this, which I'm going to link down below. This is why low-grade viral infections such as the Epstein-Barr virus or the EBV could be the actual culprit on why you may be losing hair in the first place. This is why early detection when we have low-grade viral activity is crucial. And if you're sitting there thinking, low-grade viral activity, what? I get it. It may sound a little complicated, but trust me, it's not. So let me explain to you how this works, but make sure you listen to the end and make sure you take notes. We are exposed to viruses every single day, and it's very easy for viruses to enter our bodies, unfortunately. Just the example of the last 3 years can show you that. You know, through a similar way, it is extremely easy to have some sort of viral activity in our bodies, even though we're not actually feeling sick, or not yet. The truth is that so many of us have EBV in some shape or form, and we don't even know about it because it's not something that we often get tested for, which brings me to something else that many don't even know about, and that is the Epstein-Barr virus goes through 4 stages, and that is why we experience different symptoms from one another. The first stage of EBV is when the virus is kind of floating around the bloodstream, slowly replicating its numbers to find its home. It causes no symptoms whatsoever, and you may not even be aware that you have it. The second stage is the infamous mono or mononucleosis or glandular fever you may have heard. If you have been diagnosed with any of these ones, even if it was when you were a child, you still have the virus, whether dormant or still causing issues. And I will explain how this works by the end of the video. But for now, let's focus on this, because when the virus starts a battle with your immune system, and depending on the strength of the immunity, it will start to cause a havoc, especially in some key organs of your body, like your thyroid. And that's when it goes into the third stage. This is why so many that are also struggling with hair loss, they may also experience weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, depression, insomnia, muscle weakness. You know, there's so many other symptoms they can experience. So the ultimate goal of the virus is to actually leave the thyroid and inflame the central nervous system. And that is when it goes to its stage 4. Now that I've given you a little bit of background on the EBV, let's go back to the low iron and low ferritin levels being the reason for hair loss. Let's first of all remind ourselves on how the body works for a second, okay? So the liver is a major storage organ for iron and plays a critical role in the regulation of iron levels. So particularly through the production of hepcidin, which is a hormone that regulates on how the body uses iron. Now, dysregulation of the hepcidin production can result in a variety of iron disorders, including depleted iron levels. Can you see the connection here? This is why when the liver is significantly affected, in this case by a virus, the iron levels will be affected as well. Just how many of you have been told that your hair loss is caused by some sort of dysfunction or dysregulation of your thyroid? Maybe you've been told that your thyroid hormones, such as your T3, T4, are too high, maybe too low, or maybe you received diagnosis of hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, or even worse, maybe now you've been diagnosed with some sort of autoimmune disease, such as Hashimoto thyroiditis, Graves' disease, and now that apparently is the reason for your hair loss. And what are we told about autoimmune diseases is that the body is attacking itself and there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop it. I think the best case scenario when people are doing this is that they offer you some sort of medication to just manage your symptoms and off you go, right? Well, that is all wrong. You can do lots and lots of things to reverse your hair loss. Truth be told, a lot of my clients come to work with me after they have been on different medications and nothing helped with their debilitating hair loss. In fact, I see these medications quite often make the hair loss even worse, and thyroid medication on its own can actually cause hair loss directly as a side effect, or sometimes because the medication is either too low or too high. So I don't know if you can see this, but I can totally understand how one can get into a spiral, get frustrated, lose hope, develop social anxieties, doesn't want to leave the house, and blame yourself. Let me tell you that even if you're at the very early stages of having low iron, or maybe you've just been diagnosed with it, or you're just starting to notice that you have some sort of a hair loss, or even if you're on medication and maybe you have received the autoimmune label, whatever stage you really are, trust me, there's always a way out. I know this because I have reversed my severe hair loss, even though I was given like blunt reasons such as like low iron, and I was also told that I have hypothyroidism by a naturopath. In saying that, I have helped so many women grow their hair back, even though their medical odds were really against them. You probably thought, stop talking medical terms and tell me what to do to deal with my hair loss, but here it is. I'll leave you with 3 practical tips that you can do today to take action and deal with your hair loss directly to the root cause. And number 1 is, get serious with these things, right? Get yourself a little book or journal and write down all your symptoms that you're currently experiencing and see if there's any correlation to the things that I spoke to earlier in the video. Number 2 is get your hands on the medical medium books, in particular the thyroid healing book. And I have here also a very good book, the Cleanse to Heal book. You can get them cheap as ebooks. You can get them for free from the library, although I do recommend you get them as hard copies because these are actual healing Bibles and you will be referring to them honestly for life. And number 3, I think in my opinion, this is the most important one, is to become your own detective. You'll be surprised at things you will learn when you start actually feeling things in your body and starting to connect the dots that different health issues may have the same root cause, which is very common. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, please be sure to leave me a comment below. I would love to hear your experience with this, and also let me know what would you want me to talk about next that can be helpful for you and your healing journey. However, if you are kind of stuck and you're not sure what to do, and if you're ready and want to fully go ahead on having a personalized roadmap on how you can heal and get your health back, so if that sounds like you will also want to go and check out the link that I have below, where you can actually schedule a free one-to-one consult with me where I can review your full healing plan. With that said, thank you very much for listening to the end, and I will see you in a new video in exactly 2 weeks. Bye.